Hello, my name is Kimberly. I have known Stephanie for over 30 years, and recently she made a post on her Facebook page about me. She didn't say my name, but if you know either of us well, you know it was about me. I did not come here today to down or hate on Stephanie, but this wasn't something that she was just venting about. This was meant for me to see. We're not friends on Facebook. However, she made the settings set to where her friends and I could see it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have ever seen it. Like I said, I'm not here to say anything bad about Stephanie. I am just here today to defend what she said about me. So, first thing I wanted to address is one of the major issues I've always had with her, but never really spoken to her about. She would always say that I don't talk to her or I ignored her. Here is 26 screenshots of every first reach out conversation we had on Messenger from January 2nd of 22 to April 19th of 22. It shows who reached out to who. So out of the 26 screenshots, I reached out 24 times. She reached out 9 times. So for you math people, at 72% of the time, I was the one that reached out to her. Friendship is supposed to be a two-way street. I'm going to get back to the post here and let y'all keep reading it. But like I was saying, she was always focusing on what I wasn't doing and never focusing on what she wasn't doing. She was still used to unemployed Kimberly. I had gotten a new job in August of 2021. I had a weird schedule with only one day off on the weekend. That was also the time that I had gotten a new boyfriend. I could only see him on Saturdays. We were trying to work around a custody schedule that him and his ex were still figuring out because I had not yet met his son. So I was not able to come over as I used to or reach out 24/7 like I used to. She would randomly invite me to things here and there, but was always that day. With only having one day off a week, most of my days off were planned out in advance. I had also invited her to things as well. Most of them were reptile events. Sometimes she would go, sometimes she wouldn't. I do have other friends, as does she. Most of these friends of mine were also friends of hers. However, they all live more than 2 hours away, so seeing them was a trip or a planned event. In February 22, I invited her to a friend's party where the guys went skydiving. There were 7 adults and 4 kids. Only 4 jumped, so it wasn't like she was going to be the only one on the ground. She said it was too far. It was 2 hours, 45-minute drive. Some say that is too far for a day trip, but I know we have both gone with each other to a dozen of these day trips to buy, sell, trade animal items to places much further than this. So if she was willing to do a drive to, the middle of BFE, I assumed a birthday party with friends with a unique experience would be fine. I cannot help how someone else feels about me having other friends. I shouldn't have to. I wouldn't expect her to try to control how I felt about her friends. Yes, she had other friends too. Most of them I didn't know or hang out with. Heather was one of her friends. I had met her, but she was her friend, not mine. I wouldn't be upset when she would spend time with her. Heather also had kids close to Stephanie's kids' ages, so I thought, as me not having kids, it was important for her to have, other mom friends. In her post that she made on April 5th of this year, it says in 9 days it will be 1 year that she has spoken to me. Okay, that would mean that the last time I had spoken to her would have been April 14th of 2022. That's the day after my birthday. As you can see from this screenshot, I did reach out to her on 4/14. She did not respond. So let's go back to her message. So on the 16th of April, I had been invited to a girls' night out with 2 friends of mine to go to Fort Myers. I called and asked Stephanie if she wanted to go, as she knew one of the girls. She said it was too far for her to go for a one-night trip that was supposed to be back in the same night. So little did I know that this was not a girls' night out. It was actually a surprise birthday party for myself. It was my boyfriend's idea. He threw it for me. Megan had made all the arrangements. Both Megan and my boyfriend had reached out to her to invite her to my surprise birthday party. Megan first messaged her on March 15th with no response. Then again on March 21st, she replied with a thumbs up. So when I had asked her about the girls' night out, she'd already known it was for my birthday party. She told Megan she would come. A few days before the event, my boyfriend asked her if she was coming. She replied, "I will try." But I guess she didn't go because in her post, she said my boyfriend that I barely knew didn't think that her gift for me would be something I would like. Well, if you know me so well and he's a boyfriend I just met, why would you take his advice over what you know I would or would not like? Then she goes on to say the next day she waited and waited for my call to see how my party went or to hear back from Megan. Megan had done all the planning and may have felt it was awkward for her not showing up, so she just left that up to me. She was also dealing with her special needs child the day after, so she didn't reach out the next day. But guess what? On the next day, I was still there. We had to get a hotel because my boyfriend had a flat tire the night before. So we drove all over the place in another car trying to find a tire, and that was on Easter Sunday. It took us all morning to try to find a tire. I was also supposed to be back at work that Sunday at 3 o'clock. I was 45 minutes late. Let's go back to that screenshot. It says that I did try and call her during my break at 5:48 p.m. She didn't answer or call back. I got off of work at 11 p.m., went straight to sleep because I was exhausted from the weekend's events. Then she continues saying that she waited. Days went by, then weeks. Remember, I tried to call her the next day, and according to that screenshot, I messaged her again on the 19th, where we were going back and forth for about 20 minutes talking about cell phone cameras and the quality of it. So I'm not sure what she means when she says she waited for me to call her and days turned into weeks. You can see that's not the case. And I'm sorry, if you truly aren't able to go to your best friend's surprise party, wouldn't you reach out yourself the next day and be like, I'm sorry I couldn't make it, how'd it go? But that would require her to reach out first. And we all know 72% of the time she didn't. This was all 5 days after she said she hadn't heard from me. So I wonder where she got those dates from, because that doesn't add up either. Then she said she had left all the groups, nobody had reached out to her. Okay, well, she didn't post much to begin with, so it's kind of hard to notice when someone leaves when they don't post that much. But it wasn't just that. Our friends had grown to know the flip-flop on which our friendship usually was sitting on, and they wouldn't get in the middle of it. They would be like, oh, well, I guess they're back off the wagon again with each other. Why would they reach out? If I were to ask them to show screenshots of their messages with her, I wonder how many people would actually have messages saying she spoke to them, because I don't think that was a common thing. I'm not saying that they weren't friends with her, but I just think it's, most of their friendships was in person. So when you stop talking to people in Messenger that you never really talk to in Messenger and you don't see them in person, then yeah, those friendships kind of just stop. Here's more of her message that you can just pause and keep reading. But on the 25th of April, I tried to send her a TikTok, but couldn't find her name. I thought it was odd, but I usually send her like 5 to 10 videos a week, but I figured it was a fluke and just continued on with my work. I tried again on the 27th, same thing. So I went to say something to our messenger, and that's when I found out I was blocked. So I tried to text her instead of messenger and found out I was blocked there too. I seen that she did not block me on Instagram, so I reached out there as well, but shortly after I was blocked there too. I guess she felt she had had enough, so she had blocked me at some point between the April 19th and April 25th. On June 28th, I asked a friend of mine, we'll call her D, that had kind of known Stephanie, and I asked if she would reach out to her because one of our friends' moms had passed away. I wasn't sure if her mom had told her yet, and I knew that she would probably want to be there for our friend. This is what she replied back, and then my friend said she doesn't know anything yet, but she's going to find out. And then she said, well, how did you hear about this? And she said, Beth told me to tell you. Beth shouldn't have included you in this. You don't want to get in the middle of this. She knows exactly what she has done. Well, until she made this post on the 5th, I didn't know what I had done. For almost an entire year, I didn't know why she blocked me. I don't exactly know when she unblocked me. That doesn't really matter. I guess this post was closure that she needed to move forward, and my response is for me to move forward. Actually, I guess if you've known someone as long as we have, we do tend to think alike. I had wanted some closure for myself. So being who I am, I did it with a song. I had heard an audio on TikTok that made me think of the situation, so I made a video. I made it like a month ago and I saved it in my drafts. I was planning on posting it on 4/19, the real 1 year later date that we stopped talking on. If you are seeing this reply to what she said, then it's already posted on my TikTok page. She left you with a closing thought, so I guess I'm going to as well. People are like parts of the tree. Most people that you meet in your life are leaves. The wind blows this way, they're this way. The wind blows the other way, they go the other way. All they're really good for is providing shade, and that's fine. Those people are who they are. Then you got your branches. Branches are good. They hold you up a lot, but they don't hold up forever. So eventually, if you lean too far out on those branches, they will break and they will fall. But then in your life, maybe 2, maybe 3 people in your life will be a trunk with a good root system so far deep that nothing can break them. For her and I, we were each other's branches. We weathered a lot together, but we weren't meant for life. It is what it is, and hopefully both of us can move forward from this with bright futures ahead of both of us.